Hi guys, today I'm doing a video just to show you how to cut LED strip kits, and the idea behind this, obviously if you needed to cut for purposes where it was too long, I'll show you the correct way of doing that and a way you can extend LED strip kits. Now the thing to note about the strips is the fact that some can't be extended. Obviously it's because of the power rating on there, and if you do try to extend it, what you'll see, obviously the color's consistent, and then if you've gone too long it may start fading out further along the way. So it's worth obviously reaching out to the manufacturer to confirm the maximum you can take a strip up to. So the strip I'm using here is by a company called Ajax Online. I'll include details in the description below. So now one of the challenges when you're installing an LED strip, for instance, is if you're going around a corner. So when you're going around the corner, you'll end up with a situation where the corner sort of has to stick up just for it to allow you to install it. Now there is a tidier way of doing this, and this is with obviously the hippo clip here. Now coming in close on the connector, you can see there's some pins over here. So this one has 6 pins. So the thing to check first of all on your LED strip kit is how many pins it has going down. So when you purchase the clips, you get the right clip for your strip. Coming in close on the LED strip, you can see there's a copper point there, and further along there's more copper points. Now with this, that's the point where you'd be cutting this. So to use the connectors, there's 2 possibilities here. You could cut in the middle. So that's a valid way of doing it, but the only risk there is if you're a bit short on the copper, you could miss it and you may not get a good contact on there. The other way would be obviously to cut it to a point where you've got lots of the copper visible. Both are valid methods of doing this. And obviously when you do cut right at the edge, some of the piece isn't going to be usable. So you've just got to give up using some of it there. So for this instance, just to demonstrate, if I cut at this point here, you can see there, I've got a good amount of copper there, and we should get good connectivity. And obviously I'll cut another bit like that as well. So you've got lots of copper available. But then when you look on the other end, you'll hardly have anything there. So you lose out on some of the LED strip. So you can take the call when you're doing this. And like I say, both methods will work. Keep in mind when you are connecting this up, if it has details here on which way round, so if I bring it round this way, you can see the indications on there saying 24 volts and then letters there, obviously representing the different color modes. Make sure when you do connect the connector up, it's going the correct way. So you could make a mistake, and you can see if I put it the other way around, they don't match up. So make sure when you are connecting it to the connector, it is the correct way round. The other method of cutting this is down the middle, and obviously with that you do risk in case you cut it too short at one end. As close as you can, and then just cut straight through very gently. And now looking at the point, I've got copper on both sides. After you've cut the strip, it's also worth peeling back some of the adhesive here as well. So that will make the strip thinner and easier to shut. So just to show, if I go like that, you can see some of it come away. So you can just peel back some of this, and obviously it will give a more of a raw strip. So you're just working off the basic part of this. So this is what it looks like with the adhesive moved away, and you can see for yourself it's much thinner, and if it's like this then it'll be easier to close. And then what you do, you can literally just slot it straight in here, clip it into position, put the other end here, and then you've got your corner piece there. So there's different accessories. So if you wanted to extend your strip, for instance, you've got a straight connector, and then you also got connectors like this. Gives you a bit more flex on there. So if you had a gap, sometimes you might not want to see lights on the corner, so you could go for something like that. And if you wanted to extend it out even further, you've got a long extension like this. And again, you can see on here they're using the hippo connectors there too. Now the extension lead is useful for LED lighting in kitchens. So this is where you need to create a break in your lights in order to get around objects. Like for instance, I've got my cooker over here and cupboards obviously in the way. You simply just use the extension wire and connect that to your LED strip, and then obviously the extension would be going all the way around and coming back up again. So this is where you can reach around areas in your room where you don't require light. There's also connectors like this where you can extend out the initial power part of it. So you can see here, obviously the power cable's here, and if it was short, you could use something like this just to take it further along. Now to use the hippo connector, obviously make sure it's open, take a little bit of the sticky pad below the LED strip off, and then you could just push it into position. Now as you do that, there's a bit of plastic here, and just make sure if you've got an LED which is close by, it doesn't crush it. I have done that previously and it's quite easy to do, so obviously just be careful when you're doing it, and then it's just a matter of pushing it down. You can see it lock into position, and then if it doesn't push in easily, just take some pliers and then you can use that just to lock either end on this, and there you go. It's as simple as that to get connected. We can do the same with the other end. Obviously make sure the sticky bit is off slightly, place it into position and then push it down, again being careful of the LED that's in there. And there you go, a tidy, simple way to cut and put corners in or even extend your LED strip. So a couple of things to note, I'll highlight again. Obviously count the number of contacts you have on this and make sure you get the relevant hippo clip for that. And if you are extending an LED strip, make sure power supply with there is sufficient to extend it. So there you go, details for all the items I've used are in the description below. Thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.